Hi, we're Nikki and Heather from Woolly Elephant. It's been just over 2 months since we last podcast. We last podcasted in November.
14th, I think it was. Episode 40 it was.
And now we're on episode 41. We'd like to say, hello, did you miss us? So we would like to say thank you for everybody for over the past couple of months for all your support. It has been lovely and really nice. Thank you for everybody for waiting nicely for our next podcast, because we've been wanting to do it, we've just not had the right mindset. And welcome to all the new viewers. It's lovely to see that our subscriber list is going up and everybody wants to join in the knitting fun. So hello, welcome back and welcome. And yeah, I'll stop jibber jabbering. And
we have got some FOs. Not quite as many as I've done, because stuff I've made I've given away. I did a Christmas stocking. You might have seen a couple of, if you've watched us, you might have seen a couple of videos before on an announcement. I just showed the Christmas stocking, which Michael loved, didn't he?
Yeah, he still does.
Has it not been put away yet?
No, no, he won't let me. My nanny made this for me, mummy. Okay.
That's very cute. I've spent the last couple of weeks, well, probably nearly 3 or 4 weeks really, knitting Nikki's wedding wrap. It's been quite eventful. If you watch before, if you're interested to know, watch before this episode, and I've done did a couple of tutorials of me doing it. Anyway, you show your FOs first. Okay. Oh, you can find us on all the Insta-webs. We're pretty much Woolly Elephant.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. We have a Woolly Elephant. Yeah, we're not very active on Ravelry, so we'll not bother saying that. We'll put it in the thing underneath.
If you want us, we're on Instagram most. We're Woolly Elephant Daughter, Woolly Elephant Mum.
But yeah, we post most days.
We're on Facebook as well.
On there.
Woolly Elephant.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so FOs. I did start this hat. It's not that small, it's this big. When in the last episode, and I finished it not long after. And this hat is huge. I knitted it in, I can't remember, I think it's Croft.
Shetland, West Yorkshire. Oh. No, it wasn't Croft.
No, it was
Tweed. Is it
Kilcarran Tweed?
Kilcarran Tweed.
Yeah, and in these 2 colours, and they're real pretty. It's a nice hat, but it's just that for my head, it's moose.
Yeah, and Nikki's got a big head, so
it does sit on.
It sits and it looks nice actually. It's very slouchy. It's
very nice, but if there's a slight bit of wind, which we have had, it literally whipped the hat off my head. And because it's wool, an actual wool fibre, I'm worried that the more and more I wear it, the bigger and bigger it's going to get, and then I'll probably fit mine and Ben's head.
I bet you if you sneeze, it'd come down.
Probably.
It'd slide down on your face.
But
you do see quite a few hats. They look like they're made that big. But it's.
I just wish that the rib was a bit tighter, whereas the pattern, it said you needed 2 needle sizes, but in the actual pattern as it was written out, you only used 1, and I used a needle in between those 2 sizes.
Excuse me,
because I knew my knitting's
full of a cold again. Tight
anyway. So and it's still come out huge. So now I've shown this on the podcast. I actually really like this hat, but I'm gonna pull it out and I'm gonna
knit it again.
But in smaller needles.
Maybe knock a few stitches off the rib, because you can always increase it again for the pattern. Because you could probably take about 2, 4, 6, 8. I bet you could take 8, at least 8 out.
Because when I'm walking down the street, it's doing this. It's going. And I'm ending up like this, and I look like I don't want to talk to anybody.
The pattern's by Jane Ellison from Pearl and Jane. Do you remember what the pattern's called?
No.
You didn't write it down?
No.
No.
I'm not organised.
No. But when she reknits it...
With my chimney hat.
Well, when she reknits... Hey, I've got a chimney hat.
Chimney hat!
When she reknits it, we'll tell you.
Yeah. It is on my Instagram. If you look on my Instagram, I have put on what I'm knitting and who it's by and all the rest of it and what it's in.
But we appreciate that everybody uses Instagram. Like, not everybody on Instagram uses YouTube. Comes on YouTube.
Yeah, that's true.
But when she reknits it, she'll tell you all what it is.
So now
write down what you've done different.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do the rib. I will, take some stitches.
Take a few out. You can always add a couple back in for the crown.
I'm going to go smaller needle.
Definitely.
Well, this yarn's DK, and I was struggling on, like, I think I did it on a 3. I think it said you needed like a 375 and a 4.5, and I did it on 4s, the whole thing on 4s.
Well, that's what it said in the pattern. It didn't tell you where to use the 375, even though you know really it's for the rib. You're just following the pattern.
I just followed the instructions, and I thought it might have gone.
It must just be an oversight.
So who knows?
But there you go.
I'm going to pull it out now. So not this second. Once the podcast is done.
I've knitted a hat. This was by Barbara from Knitting I Love. I can't pronounce it. I just can't pronounce it. I haven't written it down because I can't even pronounce it. When I tried, it was like hilarious. I'd have to actually hear her say it. I just can't, because it's one of those I just can't get me. Anyway, this is the Chimney hat. Chimney hat, and it's called, on the pattern it's called Chimney Hat and Cowl, because there's a cowl on the pattern as well. And it's based around, supposed to look like a, you know, the brickwork on the chimney. Which is quite cool. You can model it. I'll let you model it. My hair's tied up. I really like this. As soon as I saw she put this pattern on, she did it in quite pale colours. I thought that'll work for me. Some of my new yarns I'd dyed.
Match my hair.
It's a little bit, it does actually. It's a little bit slouchy. Looks better down on your forehead.
Style it and be all sophisticated.
It's got a, that's it. I think it looks better further down like that. Ta-da. It's got a folded rib.
Well, your eyes go all fussy doing that.
It's got a folded brim, which I quite like. If I was to do it again, I'd maybe do that a little bit deeper, because then it's double fabric over your ears. I like the double fabric over my ears, because I suffer a lot in the cold. When it's really cold and windy, I get earache really bad, and if my hat isn't thick enough, I have to shove kitchen roll or tissue in my ears, otherwise I get the most killing headache.
It's snowing.
So I like the really thick ribs. But I've knitted that. That's in my my own woolly elephant double knit. It's
eyebrow measurement.
it's Polworth double knitting, and this colour is, oh, hang on, I've got my notes here. Morello, I should know, shouldn't I? Morello Cherry. This colour's Morello Cherry. It obviously looks. Yeah, it looks more cherry. It is actually practically. You practically match Morello Cherry, double knitting, and then the other one is Merry and Bright. One of my Christmas colourways, just to show. Christmas colourways are not just for Christmas. That's the Merry and Bright double knitting. It's both Polworth, and I've worn that a couple of times without any irritation. Good. Did you feel anything? Because you've got sensitive skin. Because I wanted to test out the Polworth, what it's like. I've knitted a pair of socks, and I'm seeing how they wear. And I wear my knitted socks a lot without slippers, so I really put them through the paces. So I'll let you know in the future how that works out, but I think that looks pretty cool. So you can buy that hat. It's a paid for pattern on from Knitting Barbara at Knitting I Love, and it's on Ravelry. Yeah. But if you watch her podcast, she has a podcast, Knitting I Love podcast. She's worth a watch too.
I've not watched any podcasts in ages.
I've been trying to catch up on a couple lately. I've watched Cozy Up with the Stitching Sisters. They're just nuts, them lot.
They're funny. All 4 of them anyway.
Who else have I caught up with? Oh, Amy. I've watched Amy's from Stranded Dye Works. What else did I watch? Oh, Yarn Hoarder.
I watched Yarn Hoarder.
I watched Yarn Hoarder's last one. I don't watch an awful too many because I just don't have the time. And this week, especially after what's happened at the weekend, I'm working more with the rearranged hours at work so that I would get a little bit more time off. But that would have started this week, but the circumstances being as they are, I've ended up obviously working more. So we're just trying to squeeze this in. Still on a Wednesday morning, it's very dull. We've got frozen snow, a very light layer of frozen snow, so it's going to be fun walking to work.
Much to Michael's displeasure.
It's foggy, yeah, it's foggy. Icy fog. I'm just pretty...
It was scary coming home last night.
I don't mind it being like that.
It's like Silent Hill.
Yeah, and it being that cold because we can wear our woolies now.
I was coming home at like about 1:10 in the morning from work, and with the driver. Oh my life, this is scary. And it was like he was going really slow because it's so thick with fog. I'm like, it's like Silent Hill, and he didn't know what Silent Hill was, so I had to educate him.
It's a film.
It's a scary film.
I haven't watched that. Is it worth a watch?
It is, but just don't laugh at the graphics.
Right.
Because they're really bad.
Right. We're drifting here.
Sorry.
Your other hats? Do you want to show your other hats?
I can't remember if I showed this one. It's Prism by Tin Can Knits, and I knitted it in. I think it's YSL.
West Yorkshire Spinners.
Yeah,
is it?
one. Yeah.
Aaron.
No, DK.
DK.
In I think this is called Daffodil and
Navy probably.
Navy blue.
It's a navy. It's a dark navy.
I want to put it a daffodil, but then I did a grown-up version.
Yeah, because I ordered it, but I'll show it you. I'll put it on.
And I was an excellent and very well-behaved knitter, right? And I knitted it as per pattern, needles and everything, and it's still wrong.
And it's too small. It looks all right there if I really pull it down. If I really pull it down. But as I'm walking along, it's going like that.
I'll just give it Michael.
Walking down the street.
It's the look.
looking like that. I said it needs to be long. It needs to be a little bit wider and a couple of, at least 2, I'd say 3 blocks. Do it 3 blocks
more.
Because I like hats to come down over my ears, not just the top of my ears. I like them to come, as I just said, because I get earache. So I would say at least 3 blocks deeper. So even if it's got a little bit of slouch,
be fine.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And on a bigger needle.
I really enjoyed knitting it, so it's not the end of the world.
So, I've sent it back.
Sort it, woman.
Sort it out. Make it bigger.
Knitting is rubbish.
It's a beautiful hat, and I want to wear it with me.
Mine's too big. Hers is too small. Trials and tribulations of a knitter.
Yeah. I don't know if you've noticed, I've changed the back. The background has changed a little bit. It looks a bit neater than... I've taken a few boxes away. All this that you can see here is all the yarn that we sell. All my yarn for the shop. There's nowhere else to put it, and it's a pretty background. I know it's plastic boxes, but it's wool and it's for sale. And I've got my sign up I got for my birthday, Born to Knit, Forced to Work, off the girls at work, which I thought was pretty cool. Right, that's that one. So my next finished object is the wrap I've been making for Nikki's wedding. God, it's been a
traumatic experience.
Oh. By the time I finished it, it was too short. And I'm sitting there looking at it. We've had, as you're probably aware, if you follow us on Instagram, there's been a lot going on. My knitting has kind of saved me recently. But I can't talk about that. I've knitted it. I laid it out on the mats to block it. And I looked at it and just thought, gosh, it looks so short. It just doesn't look anywhere. There's no way that's going to work. And then spotted I'd knitted out. I'd missed a whole block of lace. A whole block of lace. I'd done the first lace panel, but it should have been double that width. And I thought, oh good God, because that was like just over around the halfway point. So I would have had to pull back like way all this. I'd have had to pull all that back and then knit all that again and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, well, I can't say out loud on air what I actually said. But I thought, beep, beep, I'm not doing that. Something, beep it. Get your scissors out. And I'd seen Christy on the Relatively Crafted podcast. I remembered seeing it ages and ages ago. I think it was, I mentioned it on the videos, I think it was episode 41 or 42, I think, because I went back and I had a look so I could say. And she did it with a jumper, to lengthen a jumper. Right. Where she cut it. You put your needles in, like you're doing an afterthought heel on a sock. Cut it, knit it on, knit the extra on, Kitchener stitch it back together. And I thought, God, that sounds more appealing. And if all else fails, if it doesn't work, I'll just re-knit that. Yeah. I know I'll be able to pick that up and knit the extra on. Whether it'll look right when I've stitched it back together is another matter. If it doesn't, I'll just carry on knitting. I had enough wool to knit it again without having to frog all that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it worked. as you can attest to if you go back and watch. There are only 2 short videos on me cutting me knitting in half.
Oh my God.
And then once I've knitted it, I tell you, do it. If you ever make a total cock-up like that, do it.
A big one.
Yeah, it was easy to do because it was on a cut in. Instead of adding it onto the lace section, doubling the lace section, I cut up the centre of the garter stitch panel, which made it easier. And then I stitched the garter stitch panel back onto the edge of the lace, so it'd be more hidden.
Yeah, a bit easier.
So it'd be more hidden. If I'd have stitched it back together down the middle of the garter stitch, it'd have probably you'd have seen it more because it's garter stitch, not stocking stitch. On stocking stitch, you wouldn't see it no matter where you did it, but on the garter stitch, it would have showed a bit more. Okay. So here we go. This was the first time Nikki's seen it this morning. Finished, and it's steamed out. I didn't think it'd block out because it's acrylic. This is King Cole Comfort 4-ply, and it's 100% acrylic. It's a baby yarn because I couldn't get a white yarn in wool. I wanted silk, preferably wanted a silky one, but we couldn't get it. They were all like off-white. Nikki's dress is going to be white. I didn't think I'd be able to steam this out because this curled terribly, this picot edge, but it has. And you can see, look at the lace. You can see how the lace is all. Because I thought I might have to undo that and then knit a garter stitch edge, but I haven't had to do that as well. Yay. So it worked out. So here we go. So this is the Xanthi wrap. How did I spell it? How do you spell it? Xanthe by Amber O'Brien. Now I have adapted it. I chopped it up. But I have adapted. Adapted it because this panel wasn't here. It was just garter stitch in this first panel, and I got bored just by the time I got to there because I find garter stitch very boring. It's not soothing like some people say. It's goddamn boring. Like a lot of Americans say about the pearl stitch.
I don't understand the problem with the pearl stitch. Well,
because they're used to knitting everything in the round.
Because
you know a lot of the American patterns that we found that the American designers knit everything in one piece.
Yeah.
So they're used to knitting around, so everything's knitted as opposed to pearl. There's not much pearl unless you're doing a pattern. Whereas here we knit everything mostly in pieces. So I don't have a problem with pearl. You know, we do that all the time. So I was so bored by the time I got there. So I just shoved in 10 rows. I think it was about 10 rows of lace.
Looks like 2 repeats.
And then when you got to this one, this is the lace panel. It should have been, instead of 50 rows, it should have been 100. So it should have been that wide. And then there was a massive wide panel. So my panel's shorter than in the actual pattern. This was double that width. So this is where I then, and then I put that lace, I put this lace panel in. Did I put that lace panel in? Yeah, no, no, that was right. This panel was in the right size. This is the one that should have been double the width. And then there was a massive swathe of garter stitch, which looked better on the actual pattern because she did it in 2 colours. It was striped in 2 colours, but mine was just a swathe of white. So this was the panel I cut in half. No, I'm lying. That was the first one. See, I think you can't even see. Yeah. That's where I stitched it.
So you stitched it.
This is where I stitched it. There's no cups of tea there, is there? I'm terrified of getting this dirty. So there is where it's been stitched on. You can't just see it. If you know it's there, you can see it. If you don't know it's
really
there,
hard to look for.
Yeah, if you didn't know, which most people won't, you'll not know. You don't know, so I'm quite pleased with that. So that was where it was cut. I cut it. I added a couple of rows on from where I cut it, knitted this lace panel, and then stitched on this whole section. That was how much this whole garter stitch bit here and that bit is how much I would have had to frog and re-knit, which I didn't have to do. I just knitted the lace, and it was a nice easy lace pattern. I've only gone wrong once in the lace. I think you can probably, if you're a knitter, a good knitter, you can see where I went wrong. Can you see it?
Is it like round here?
There, yeah. I don't know what I did. Don't know what I did.
It's handmade.
Because I had stitch markers in. But again, when it's round your shoulders and if you're looking, I only discovered that I made that mistake when I was up here somewhere. And I thought, no. For the sake of that, nobody's going to know. It's just that row has got 2 holes in the middle of the pattern instead of 1. I think that was literally, I probably missed a yarn over somewhere that just pushed it.
Oh, well,
So there you go. I'm going to pop in a couple of photographs we've took pictures. I've just taken pictures of Nikki with it wrapped round her one way and then wrapped the other way and pinned. And then we want you to say underneath which way around looks best for her to wear it on the day. So the next time you see this now will be in the wedding photographs. No, my life. That's not long. Which is in how many days? Come on, you count 17. Down. 17 days. So that's when you'll see this again. And it's in the wedding photographs. So she better wear it or she's dead. Of course I'm going to wear it. I never saw the last one. She kept telling me. You're going to be at my wedding. Put that wrap on or else. You'll pin it on me. It'd be fine. Yeah. No, I have no doubt. So that's all I've got to show for F4s. We're on 20 minutes. We've got about another 20 minutes. For my friend's birthday. I think that's cool. For your friend's birthday? Yeah. Why have you got it then? Because I'm giving it her tonight. Oh, right. It's her birthday on Friday. Right. But she's going away, so we're seeing her tonight. And she likes Nightmare Before Christmas. That's cool, that. So I found this cosy off because I wanted to make her something, but I didn't want to make her a cushion. Is it Saskia? No, it's Becky. She does like Nightmare Before Christmas though, Saskia. Yeah. She's covered in tattoos, but with it. But my friend Becky, she likes it as well. And she has Uno, the dog, tattooed on her arm. But I didn't want. She's got a really, really tiny like postage stamps bedroom. So stuff that you buy her for her birthday can't really be decorative housey wise. So I was like, does she use a thermal cup? Yeah. So I was like, what do I do? So I bought her this cup. I've got one of these cups. They don't leak or anything. And it was on offer, so it was even better. Where'd you get it from? This is from Asda. It said on the thing £2, reduced to £2. When I got to Tilly, it was £1. So I think I might need to go back and buy myself one. That's £1. To anybody that doesn't know what a quid is. Yeah, £1, not a quid. I'm going to go back and buy myself one because I've got one in copper as well, but I have a habit of leaving it places, so they're really good. They don't leak. They actually I put it in my handbag and it rolls around and nothing leaks out. Maybe I'll go and get one as well. So it's brilliant. And the pattern, the crochet pattern's off Ravelry. They do it. It is a paid for one. Sorry, just like got a nervous tick. You do. I've had 2 coffees and everything. I'm like, it is a paid for one, and in the pattern she does it in Aran, but I didn't have Aran, so I did it in DK. It looks great. There you go. That's fine. So is that it for knitted objects? I think so. Finished objects, crochet. That's crochet. That is crochet. That's cool. I like that. Might need one of them. Jess has put an order in for a stitch from Lola and Stitch. Yeah. That's pretty cute. So, we'll see. Right. So, finished objects. I can actually knit other stuff now. Yay! Now I've finished that. I can knit other stuff. So, what shall I show first? I'm knitted. Have I got a sock? Okay. Someone desperately wants you because they keep texting you. Because I think it's your mum. Hang on. Oh. I'll just put this sock. I've knitted. The only other things I've knitted in between is while I've been at work on a break, or I couldn't concentrate on lace knitting, so I've done it in the evening. I've been looking through my stash for yarn. I've been trying not to buy any yarn because I've got so much yarn of my own in my stash. Plus then I've got all my own yarns that obviously I dyed, and I really want to knit with some of them. So I've knitted this. This is a bit of a in-your-face. I've had this green yarn sitting in my stash for they are well zingy. For years. Pauline on Instagram, Pauline Worthington, that we used to come to our knit and natter group. It's like radioactive zebra. Yeah, she says it looks like the Grinch, like blended. She didn't say blended, but she says it looks like the Grinch, you know, who stole Christmas, the green guy. So she says it looks like Grinch. Well, I'd say Grinch blended, innit? So I think I've had it in my stash forever, and I've never liked it. I love green, but I've never liked it. It was one I was in the Knitology Sock Club from Knit Crate. But dude, they're cool. They are cool, but I didn't like the yarn. But anyway, I've been trying to knit with some of these yarns that I don't like because they usually come out. They surprise you. Nice. Anyway, this one is some leftover from the Victorian Teacup socks. I think it was the Derive socks I did. It's the Polworth Polwood fingering weight that that's in my shop that I dyed myself. I've just dyed some of this on my regular merino nylon.
Cool.
Fingering weight for those that prefer that, because this has been quite a popular colourway because it's quite pastel-y. And I just shoved. I thought I'll stick that in with it. Probably totally clashes, but I don't care. I like it. I was going to do the whole thing stripy with a slip stitch. You can see I've done the slip stitch. When I started the next colour, I slip stitched. Well, I did 4 rows. I thought, no, it doesn't look wide enough because the green, it doesn't show up very well. So then I did 5 rows. And I thought, no, it still doesn't show up enough. The slip stitch isn't showing up very well. But it shows up quite well there. And then I did 6 rows. And I thought, okay, we'll just stick with 3. 3 different width stripes. I'm not going to do the whole thing stripy. But they're actually, looking at it on there, the slip stitch shows up well. Whereas when I was knitting it, I didn't think it did. But most of the knitting I do in the evening when it's quite dull.
It's not always dull in England.
Yeah, it's brightening up now. And I did an afterthought heel. Where you're cutting a traditional afterthought here, where you actually just put markers in and cut in, and then put your heel in. The heel is basically just exactly the same. You do the heel exactly the same as you do the toe. Yeah. So there we go. But it's still a bit. I tried it on, and I did the normal amount of rows I thought I'd do because I knit this on 2.25. I've done 20 rows of rib. And then I do 60 rows on the leg and 60 on the foot. But it still feels a little bit short. I think it's because of this heel. I'm going to have to do the foot a little bit longer because I normally do a heel flap and gusset because that fits my foot the best and I prefer the look of that. But I wanted this kind of look. I think I'm going to have to take the toe out, put another maybe 4 or 5 rows in. I know they stretch when you wear them for a bit, but I don't like my socks tighter when they really pull against your toes.
No, I don't.
And this gradually will work under your foot. So I think I'm just going to add another 4 rows and I'll do the other one longer, and when I've done that I'll re-knit. I'll just cut this toe off. I'm into cutting things off.
Knitting casualties.
Yeah, I'm so into cutting things now. So I'm just going to hack it off. Hack it off at the end, pull it undone. I'm not going to even try and undo it.
Next week she'll have done a whole steeped cardigan.
Well, I'm working up to that. I want to do one of those. So that's that. So it was, like I say, it was the Knitology Sock Club from Knit Crate. So you're not going to be able to get this anymore because I've had this a few years. And Polworth teacup, Victorian teacup colourway, which is in our shop. I don't know if there's, no, I think it's sold out at the moment, but I've done some more on merino nylon. Looks exactly the same colour. When I get a chance, I'll put it in. I've just not had the opportunity to photograph and put them in the shop at the moment. So that's that one. You got one?
In a minute I will do.
Right, well, oh, and it was in me. I keep it in me knitting bag. I've made that by Nikki. These are my pins. I don't collect the knitting pins. I'm a member of the RSPB club, the Royal Society for Protection of Birds, and I pick up ones for the birds that I like. I love robins, they're my favourite bird, and the puffin and the grebe.
What's your explanation for
That's just David Bowie, because I love the look of David Bowie. I saw that.
That's not a bird.
Yeah, I saw that. I liked him as Ziggy Stardust, even though it was a bit before. He was before my time when he did Ziggy Stardust. I like the Ziggy Stardust, the main Ziggy Stardust album, and I loved the look, how he looked then, with the flash across his face. I remember drawing it when I was a teenager, using it in my art exam and stuff, portfolio. So when I saw that on the market, I thought I need to have that. So that's my pins on Nikki's bag. This was a testy one. I don't think you've made any more, have you? No. I don't know why, because I love it. Yeah. I do. I've been using it quite a lot. Oh, right. It makes a nice little, it's quilted, it makes a nice little socks. Like we said what it could do with improving here. It pushes down. That pushes down inside, or you can have it up and out. It's quite a nice little socks like that. You should make more of them. Oh, okay. I like it anyway. So that's that one. Are you ready?
I'm ready. So I'd left it off in the middle of a row like a bad knitter. So I've been doing this.
Oh, we're knitting it on those 2.25s Knit Pro. That's my second one. Knit Pro's it. Knit Pro. No. 2.25s higher sharps. Magic loop. Me that doesn't do magic loop. I seem to be doing them all that way at the moment.
She's slowly converting.
I know.
So I've been doing this mix and match sweater, cardigan even, and it's grown quite a bit. And I think when I last did it, when I last showed it on the podcast, I just literally separated off.
No stitch markers in it.
No, I don't need any.
But you don't have to need them, they just look pretty.
I did have one, but it
So,
was really...
so punters can see where you were last time, what you've done.
I was here. This red line, I was there. So I know I've knitted all this. Hey, I've knitted loads since last time. But it's all I've really been doing, other than a couple of other things. And it's just gone past my waist. So I think I won't be much longer. I'm hoping I've got enough yarn, because this is one ball, and I've got another piece of the other jumper that I was knitting to rip out, and then I think I should be okay.
Have you got any more other than that?
Yeah, other than this, yeah, I've got a bit more.
Have you got another ball?
Yeah, so to do sleeves.
Fine.
I wouldn't say it's another ball. I'm not actually sure. I need to weigh the sleeve. I think this is bigger than it actually is, because when I was winding it, this is like 125 grams when I wound it off, because there was a few more. An end finished and another one started. I just wound it all together.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Because I weighed it. Just to see how much it was. Because it feels huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I'm ripping from one jumper and putting it into this one. I think I should be okay.
When you finish knitting the length of your jumper, weigh the actual body and see what that weighs. And if you've got, you should be able to have a guesstimate for.
I've no idea. If worst comes to worst, I'll just do all the thingies a different colour.
Thingies.
The ribbon and the cuff.
At the bottom. The rib.
That one.
Yeah, at the bottom.
The arm cuffs and the collar and all that, a different colour.
Just bear in mind on that pattern, the sleeves. You know, you need arms like a gibbon, or like an orangutan. So you can. When I did mine, I shortened the gap between decreases. I knitted less rows. When I realised how long these sleeves were going to be, I started knitting less rows.
I've got like tiny arms.
Yeah, so check it against your arms as you're doing it, because you might need, when you've done a bit, you might need to shorten. Take a few rows out between decreases, otherwise your sleeves will be there. Do
you increase to your elbow and then start decreasing?
A little bit, if as I remember.
Okay, I'll try and remember that.
Yeah, just they do come out. Whether it was just me or not, I don't know, or I was doing something wrong, but they just seem to. And I made notes and then did the same for the second one, and it worked.
It's another manic Monday. I got this in my Secret Santa at my taxi job. So, and it came with a coaster as well, which was quite apt. And who I had did excellently well, considering he didn't buy it. His wife did.
Well, that's what you want.
So 10 points to his wife.
Right, my other thing I've got on the go at the moment is my Fibonacci socks. These have grown a little bit.
Ah, that's what I wanted to ask you.
What?
If you had these needles in a shorter cable size.
I don't know. I'll have a
these
look.
are 3mm.
I'll have a look.
Thanks.
So these are my Fibonacci socks, colourwork socks. It's pulling in. It's pulling in a bit. I don't think I'll get the sock blocker in, because I'm knitting these on 9-inch circulars. I find if you're doing colourwork in socks, it's best done. I'm finding it easier to do it on 9-inch because there's no joins other than that join. I suppose you could do that on magic loop. So when you're pulling your threads across, it's because it says on DPNs in the book, but then you can pull it too tight across the joins and then it puckers. So it's obviously puckering in a bit. Then the colours, the contrast didn't work like I thought it would, but they look pretty anyway. Or at least I'm told they look pretty anyway. So that's when it flattens out. When I've blocked them out, they are super long. I've done, according to, there's the heel.
Your foot's that big.
So I've done according to the pattern.
Oh, I've not even been looking. I'm like, what?
No, it's the leg. That's
the
leg.
Has your foot grown that big?
No, that's the leg. Because it says, for the smaller size, to keep the pattern repeat right with the turning of the heel and everything, when you do the smaller size, you do two and a half, almost three repeats.
Right.
When you do the bigger size, you only do 2 and a tiny bit repeats to keep the pattern right for the turn and everything. So I like long socks, so it suits me. And these are knitted in West. Let me have a look at my notes. West Yorkshire Spinners from the Florist collection. Their signature 4-ply. This one is Foxglove, the pink one, and the blue one is Cornflower. In hindsight, I should have done 2 solid colours, or a solid and a shaded. whereas this one's a bit more random. But when I stretch it out, you can see it a bit more. It's based on, I'll show you the picture in the book, the Fibonacci sequence, which is where the two previous numbers added together make the next number. So 1 and 2. See it out, like on this, you can see there's one block, and then 2, and then 1 and 2 makes 3, so the next one will have 3, and then 2 and 3 is 5, so the next one's 5, and then it would be, if you carried on, it would be 5 and 3 is 8. But it doesn't go that far. This is the book I've got it from. It's called Op Art Socks. And they're all kind of illusion type socks and fancy, really funky patterns. I looked at it on Amazon for ages before I finally bought it. But this is, here we are, the Fibonacci socks. So that's how you see they would have looked better in a solid colour to give this effect. So these must be the bigger socks because there's only 2 in a bit repeats. Whereas mine's got another repeat on that, the longer ones, and they have patterned sole.
Yeah, it's gone funny.
To do well, that's the idea. They have a patterned sole as well, which is cool. So it'll be a nice thick cushiony sole. Because the heel feels a bit thin because there's no rib. I should have done it. I did it just. I've just been doing it as pattern. If I was to do it again, I'd do that and knit one, slip one pattern to make that a bit thicker. But the sole will be nice and cushioned as well. I'm dropping my marker. That's a Corpo UK one because it's a bit fancier than the other Halloween ones I've got. There you go.
The ones I got you for your birthday, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the one that's just dropped off. I hold it on my needles. Keep it on. I normally use a hairband, but I've got these days. These are colourful stitch stoppers, they're called, by Coco Crafts. And this is a multi-pack. They're just little foam things. Sure, then it stops your knitting falling off the end of your needles, which is ideal for those. So I'm hoping by the time we podcast next week, I'll have done the first one. But we shall see, because now I can knit everything. No, I haven't got to knit that shawl.
No, she wants to cast on all the things.
So I'm trying not to cast on. I've had 2 knit boxes, which I at least want to cast on. Not the current one, but the last one. Have you had yours?
I've had the January one, which was that.
Yeah.
I've not had the next one.
What, the next one? No, the one with this that had it's got 5 bolts of wool and it's got a pattern, a cardigan pattern in. Yeah. The only problem was the cardigan pattern doesn't go up to my size. I like the cardigan, but it doesn't go big enough.
Yeah, I thought about I'm going to do that. But
yeah,
really I've had that one, and I've cast on the box before.
Yeah, the grey one. I want to do that.
Grey one?
Yeah, the big shawl with the glittery bits in.
I'm on about the furry stuff.
The what? Oh, the furry. I've done that. Oh, I forgot about that. Next time.
Anyway, furry stuff came.
And then it's in a box.
In knitting box. And this is a body, not some weird shape. But this is what came. This stuff. It's called Serdar Alpine Looks Fur Effect.
No, I'm not generally a fun. What do they call them? Fun.
No, I'm not.
Fun fibres. But I love the feel of it.
Mum got her box before I did, and she said, "You'll knit it up in a flash."
Which I did. I knitted it in practically an evening.
I was like, "Oh, right, okay." And then I got it. I opened it, and I was like, "What am I supposed to do with this?" And I had no pattern. There was no pattern in my box, so I was like, "I don't even know what I'm gonna make." But on the Knitting a Box Facebook group page, this lady posted that she had knitted her furry stuff into a cat, which is by Serdar. My tablet died. I checked this morning because that's what my pattern is on. It's my computer tablet thing. So I thought, oh well, I'll knit a cat for Joseph for his birthday. It was his birthday a few weeks ago.
It's been and gone, yeah. But no cat.
But it's fine. Cat's still in pieces. So I've done his body and I've done his head. So there's a head. And then
I've knitted the cowl, a longer cowl when there was in the pattern, and I was going to give it away, but it's very cosy.
We have a leg with some stitch markers. I've just got to do some more. They don't, and for the contrast, because you do his snout, his belly, and his paws with a different colour, and I've just used this cotton that you bought in your shop once, for doing dishcloths.
Yeah.
I thought, because I'm going to give it to Joseph.
That's King Cole Cotton Soft, I think.
If I give it to Joseph, most likely it's going to go in his mouth.
Yeah, King Cole Cotton Soft DK, which they aimed at the time at babies.
Which is that. And I'm using, because you knit it on
flat, straight
needles, so I've got 6.5 bamboo, and the cotton stuff I'm doing on my 4mm zinc. Hopefully next time I'll have it done, because my plan is, because you knit on his belly on happy first birthday or something,
yeah,
as a memory thing for him. And Michael's requested that he has one too.
Yeah, well, he'll have that one, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure he will. I made Joseph these balls for Christmas, and fabric balls with different panels, different colours, and they both play with them and they love them. And Michael's he's picked out some fabric, but he's told me I'm not to make it yet, Mummy, because he wants his particular t-shirt in that still fits. So I have to wait until the t-shirt he's grown out of it, so he can have it in his bowl, because I'll make it with him.
That's sweet.
So he's waiting.
Right, last one. Gone a little bit. Just hit 40 minutes. We weren't going to go over, but we have.
I'll show this one.
So my last one is in my Mrs. Moog Christmas sheet bag. I love this bag. Mrs. Moog is on Instagram, and she has a shop on in Etsy. On Etsy, and I'm knitting this in Kilcara tweed, Knoll Kilcara tweed, as we've mentioned before. And this is 100% new wool. It's DK. Is it DK? No, it's Aran weight. This, I think, Aran weight. And this is in Guido. The colour is fabulous colour. So I bought the wool a while ago, but I've not been allowed to cast it on. Well, not that anybody's told me I can't, but because I've been knitting that shawl and chopping it up and re-knitting it. And anyway, this is what I'm knitting.
Oh, it looks really pretty.
While I was waiting for the extra balls of yarn to come for the slip stitch jumper I'm doing,
yeah,
because I've not got a lot to do on that now, I started knitting on this. But as soon as the other wool came, I put it away and thought, finish the other one. But isn't this lovely? I love this.
I'm loving how that cable's coming out.
Yeah,
they look fab. So
this is the Farimond Diamond Cable Cardigan by Jane Ellison of Pearl and Jane, aforementioned. This is the back. I'm doing it in quite a reasonable big size. It's supposed to be like a slouchy cardigan. Where's my book? I can show you. This is the pattern. On the front of the book, simple knits. These are all knitted in Kilcara tweed. Like I say, by Jane Ellison, Pearl and Jane. This is the cardigan. I've wanted to knit this since I've got it, but I've just never done it. So that was my plan. I said I'm going to do it this year. So I've got the wool. It cost me an arm and a leg. So it'll be family heirloom, this one.
Yay!
So by the time you get to my age and you're as fat as I am, it'll fit you. So
practically in the same size, woman. So you just basically call me fat.
Well, there you go. So I'm knitting a size 44 to 48. I'm doing the biggest size, and it's supposed to come out at about a 51.5. It's supposed to be a slouchy cardigan. So I could have done the smaller one. I could have done the smaller size, but I didn't want to. See, that's the back.
I like this one.
Which is what I'm doing now. I know I don't like the neck on that one. So this is what I'm doing. And it's supposed to curve. I'm not sure I'm going to do it like that. The hem curves up. But I'm not so sure I want the hem.
Oh, looks like it's shrunk it wash.
No, but it's designed that way to curve up. I'm not sure I want to do that. I'd rather the hem curve down and covered ones. Rather, you know, large. Well, I'm told it's not that large, but to me, that rather large rear end. Keep it warm.
Beep, beep.
So that's it. I'm knitting it on my Knit Pro Symphonies on 4.5mm. So there we go. And the stitch marker, again, is Corpo UK. Hang on. There we go. It's a chocolate brownie.
Then this year we need to branch out and try new people.
I know.
Like,
I don't very often buy them from anybody else, just because I like.
Because I
like it. Yeah, because I'm trying to get done what I knew I wanted to do.
Well, yeah.
And I wanted to do that cardigan, so I'm doing that cardigan. I have seen so many others. I buy the Knitter magazine. It's just called The Knitter. Or Knitter. I think it's The Knitter. There are so many.
They do beautiful things.
There are so many things I've seen in there lately that I want to knit. I need to stop buying the magazine, because there's no way I'm ever going to manage to knit all the jumpers I want to knit in my lifetime. But there is a few in there that I'm going to knit. Future knitting, I've got, these are two of my yarns. I've just got them out today because I'm going to wind them when I get a chance. And I want to knit a couple of pairs of socks in these.
Yeah, that'll be
These,
nice.
These are two.
Are you going to knit them together?
Yeah, I'm going to do... I fancy doing just 2 plain pairs, or with a simple patterning. And I'm going to do a yellow sock with an orange heel cuff and toe, and then I'm going to do an orange, these are, like I said, these are both in my shop. And I just love these colours. I dyed these colours because I like these colours. But I want to knit them. Start knitting a few of mine up, so you can see what they look like apart from anything else. Still going to knit my stash, but I want to knit some of my own yarns up because I'm dyeing these yarns, and I'm like loving them, and I'm thinking, but just want to knit them all. But because I have so much in my stash, I'm thinking, no, I need to use my stash. But now I need to start knitting some of mine. If nothing, plus that helps if you're interested in buying them. So that's everything I've got. I need to go to work.
So I haven't really... You probably won't see a lot from me maybe next podcast because I'm concentrating on all my wedding decorations. That's where all my spare time's going at the moment. So I'll do a little video once I've done it all, and then maybe we can put it in. Yeah. Not this one, the next one.
We're going to podcast again in a week's time. Today is... What's the date today? 23rd, is it?
It is Wednesday the 23rd of January.
It's the Wednesday the 23rd of January. Hopefully I'll get this up tonight. I'll make every effort to do this tonight or tomorrow. We're going to podcast again next Wednesday, and we're going to run this giveaway we kept going on about. We obviously haven't done the giveaway because of circumstances that's happened. I've got all these different wools. I think I'm going to put this one in a giveaway for us reaching 250 subscribers. Woo! Nikki's going to make a bag sometime between now and next week. So we're going to have a giveaway of a bag and some yarn, and we're going to have a prompt down below.
Yes.
We will definitely do that next week. We might not actually post it out until after the wedding.
Because I'm getting married.
So we might put we might not announce it till after the wedding, but we're going to do a podcast. Like I say, we'll do it, and we'll definitely put the giveaway. So it'll be a good giveaway prize. And if you don't follow us on Instagram, look at following us on Instagram, because we're both thinking of doing a giveaway, or at least I'm thinking of doing a giveaway of more wool on Instagram in the near future too. So it's be worth following us to watch for that, because I know everybody loves a giveaway and we haven't done one yet. Yes. So I'm thinking of doing that. So until next time,
thank you very much.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.